So much cooler down here. Okay, we don't have a lot of great light, but hopefully you'll be able to see enough to get an idea. This is the most simple root cellar. So it's basically, there's a dirt floor and the walls are all dirt. So it is just a big cave, basically, a big dirt cave. And then these were obviously added in the 70s, and they hold up, you can see over here, above this is actually, there's a concrete slab that is the roof of this root cellar. And then over here, this wall, they put in a concrete wall here as well. And then this part of the doorway here is also concrete. So it's pretty sturdy at this point. And then I'm sorry that the light is so bad in here, but all the walls look like this. It's too dark to show you kind of all the way around. Maybe I can, enough light, no. But it's just dirt like this. So these ceilings are 8 feet tall. And the dimensions of this room are about 12 by 8 or so, a 12 by 8 cave. So as you can see here, I have milk crates. These work really, really well. I got this idea from the previous owners. This is all they pretty much used to store all their stuff, their root vegetables in, and they work really well. They actually, just keeping them in here in these with the air circulation with no sawdust and or sand or anything. I've done it with carrots, beets, and turnips, and they all lasted an entire winter in these bins. And then I also, because I'm storing a lot more food than the previous owners did, I also use some black tubs like this, and I layer them with damp sand, which I have in a large supply on our property. So I use damp sand and layer carrots, beets, whatever in here with one layer of vegetables, one layer of sand, and so on all the way up until it's full. And I've had these last for a long time, like up to 18 months. They don't taste very good by that point, but they're still not mushy in these. And then I also use these are protein lick tubs for cattle, and I use these, and I haven't put any holes in the sides or anything like that. This is just layered with sand and the vegetables the same way I showed you with the flower pots there. And this also works really well, and I've not had any issues with rotting or anything like that. So there you go. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Sorry, but like I said, it's a bit anticlimactic because it's not super fancy or anything. I don't even have any shelves or anything in here. What I do is I just put pallets on the floor and then stack everything on top of the pallets, and I can fit a huge amount of food in this little root cellar. My plan for this year is I am going to be putting shelving up along this wall and along this back side. What I've done before is just I have some plastic shelving that I've put in here. And on that plastic shelving, I put kohlrabi, cabbage, what else did I put on there? Brussels sprouts. And you just pull those out of the ground and shake the dirt off and then put them on the shelves, and they last up for up to a couple of months like that in this root cellar, just on a shelf. So my plan is to put shelving along one whole side of this root cellar so that I can store things like that, because they don't do well closer to the ground and they don't do well in tubs like these. So that's my plan. So as you can see, super basic root cellar, nothing fancy, but it works, and that's what ultimately matters. I think a person could spend a ton of money on building kind of the ideal dream root cellar, but I think for most of us that's kind of out of reach. And unless you buy a property that already has a skookum root